This is 5 on your side at noon. Focused on you.
Thanks for being here at noon. I'm Kay Quinn. Cloudy but calm on this Thursday afternoon, but it could be a completely different story tomorrow as thunderstorms develop. Let's get right to meteorologist Jim Castillo. He's here with the Weather First forecast. What's coming up tomorrow, Jim?
Yeah, hi, Kay. So we could see a shower as early as tonight in St. Louis, but those thunderstorm chances are ramping up in the morning hours, and they do look sub-severe, but there's still a possibility of quarter-inch hail in the morning. But then through the weekend, waves of showers and storms, and we just have to see how much of that activity of severe weather actually moves our way. Much more on that coming up in Maine weather. But right now it's 59 degrees and the clouds are increasing. Notice the dew point, very low, so dry air still in place here. The atmosphere has to moisten up. And wanted to show you this. Southern Phelps County, maybe a few showers there if it's reaching the ground, but it sure is reaching the ground, and thunderstorms are popping up right around southwest Missouri. So Springfield, very heavy rain, and those are flash flood warnings and flood advisories to the west all the way north of Joplin. And then you have the one severe cell west of Kansas City. So that's that activity. I think Kansas City is really that bullseye for severe weather and that risk of tornadoes as we get into Friday. And for us, we'll watch it as it kind of hangs to the west of us. But right now, there's that warm front well to the southwest of us. And that severe weather outlook for today is in Kansas, Oklahoma, North Texas. But tomorrow there is that level 1 here, and that's isolated severe cells and that chance of maybe seeing quarter-inch hail right through the St. Louis area, portions of the area. Again, isolated is what we're thinking on that. So here's that future cast. Shower chances ramp up tonight, but much more on the timing of those thunderstorms coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes, Kay?
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, Jim. Right now, we're working to learn more about what caused an overnight apartment fire in Wentzville. Take a look. It happened off St. Charles Street. This is the Pineview Apartments, just one street over from Wentzville Middle School. Several pets were killed here. The fire began around 2:45 this morning. All apartment units were affected. The assistant chief of the Wentzville Fire District says a resident helped save lives.
It would have been a lot worse. One of the other residents in one of the other buildings was up, saw it, came out, was banging on people's doors to wake them up.
No residents or firefighters were hurt. Right now, the Red Cross is helping the people who live there. We're also working to learn more about the condition of 2 North County cooperative officers injured in a head-on crash. It happened on West Florissant just past Delwood City Park around 2:30 this morning. One officer suffered a head injury. The other suffered an eye and a leg injury. The driver of the other car was also hurt. We're also following a fatal crash in South City. One person is dead, another in the hospital after a car crashed into a building in the Bevo neighborhood. It happened just before 11 last night. This is the intersection of Gravois and Newport Court. We know the driver died and a passenger is in the hospital. We're still working to learn more about that passenger's condition. Right now, a measure to cut funding from Planned Parenthood sits on the desk of Missouri Governor Mike Parson. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski spoke with representatives on both sides of the issue to break down what it means.
State Representative Cody Smith says Missouri House Bill 2634 will prohibit taxpayer dollars primarily in the Medicaid program from going toward organizations that perform abortions and their affiliates like Planned Parenthood, which is a national organization.
We know that if we are subsidizing or doing business with Planned Parenthood as a state, we potentially could ultimately be subsidizing those abortion services outside of the state.
Representative Deb Lavender says there's really no point to this legislation, as a federal measure called the Hyde Amendment already bans the use of federal Medicaid funds to cover abortion. However, it doesn't limit the state's ability to use its own funds to cover abortions.
So once again, women will be on the short end of healthcare in Missouri. We don't already do a good job for our people of color. Their maternal mortality is so much higher than those of us who are white. And so we're just further eroding healthcare opportunities for women in this state.
Representative Brad Hudson, who co-sponsored the legislation, says they expect it will be challenged because it was struck down by the Supreme Court both times it was included as part of the budget and appropriations.
And we understand that anytime we do something big like this, there is the possibility for a court challenge, and that has been taken into consideration when the legislation was crafted.
So what's this mean for a ballot measure seeking to end the ban on abortions? Maggie Olivia with Abortion Action Missouri says the proposed amendment would only guarantee access to abortion and reproductive health care.
But there is no language in this amendment about like Medicaid or payments or anything like that. This is an attack on the people of Missouri and the services that they rely on to survive, whether that be preventative care like cancer screenings, STI testing and treatment, birth control access.
Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
If signed into law and not struck down in the courts, the funding ban would go into effect in late August. Loop trolley season kicks off today. 5 on your side's Diamond Palmer has details on the route and when you can ride.
Starting today until October, you can ride the Delmar Loop trolley for free, and you can use signs like these behind me to show where exactly the trolley goes. Now, the trolley runs a 2.2-mile stretch, and the trolley costs about $1.3 million annually to operate. So this trolley starts at Trinity Avenue in Delmar. That's by the University City Library. It goes past many restaurants and businesses along the loop and beyond. The ride ends at the Missouri History Museum and goes just off of DeVoliver Avenue. Now, the Loop trolley has been running since 2018, and since then there's been many financial hardships, including in 2019 when the trolley service was forced to shut down after a lack of funds, low revenue, and low ridership. In 2020, the transportation company Bi-State Development's board rejected takeover of the trolley. Then in 2022, new board members of Bi-State Development voted to take over operations. The transportation company plans to run operations until June 2025. The reason why the trolley must remain in service is because it took federal funding to build the tracks and infrastructure. And scrapping the program entirely could cause issues down the road for the region when it comes to getting federal funding for other projects. The Delmar Loop trolley will run Thursdays through Sundays, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Reporting the Delmar Loop, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
Tonight, you can catch an old-school music night at the Afton Elks Club. 12 of the St. Louis area's best banjo players, the St. Louis Banjo Club, will be playing hits that everyone can sing along to. The club has been strumming in the Bi-State since 1969, and their performance tonight is completely free. It runs from 7:30 to 9:30. A sweet reason to celebrate. The Ted Drew's location on Chippewa marking its 95th anniversary this evening. From 3 to 7 p.m., you can take part in some family-friendly activities, as well as grab some complimentary snacks from area businesses. To top it all off, there will be some exciting giveaways as well. A new law means trouble for TikTok when it could be banned in the U.S. if it isn't sold by its parent company. If you're a Ring doorbell customer, some money could be headed your way while customers are getting reimbursed.